astTECS, leading enterprise telecom brand.
So please disable a video, but then and also the mic. But then during the question answer session, please enable your video and mic. So now today we have a very interesting topic. It's about effective enterprise telecom. I think it's most of you will be wondering what is this effective enterprise telecom. Generally, our webinars are about generally our webinars are about maybe astTECS products or some new technology coming, some messaging systems, things like that. This time it is little different. This time it is about the role we, each one of us as individuals play or our role as a telecom expert. See, most of you or at least many of you consult within your company, within your organization, or to your partner organization or your customers more about telecom. So now we have to also see, obviously, we are interested in selling telecom products to these organizations, but these organizations view many of us also as the telecom experts, the people who can help them to conceptualize their telecom needs very well and help them to optimize their telecom. So today we are talking about our role, how we can play this role, how we can benefit. See, at the end of the day, the real sales is about benefiting the end customer, and how we can benefit our end customers or even partners, or even within our own organizations. Maybe some of you are the telecom expert in your own organization, so how you can effectively do the telecom in your organization. As we all know, organizations are born and then they keep growing, and always any organization, they would like to grow. And how this growth happens, it's like a constant process. We add a lot of resources, then we try to stabilize the resources, then we optimize the resources, then again we keep on adding more resources. And one such very important resource is telecom. The communication from each employee to the customer happens to one of the telecom channels. And nowadays, even the word telecom has been grown much more to encompass many other messaging systems like a WhatsApp or SMS and things like that. So now what today we intend to do is to say that, okay, now we go to an organization and we see, they are using some people are making calls, some these. So now the owner of the organization is coming and asking us, what is there to optimize? How can I make my processes optimal? How telecom can help me? Now, how do we go about it? See, it is not easy to just like that. We might have a haphazard, okay, maybe you can do this, maybe you can do that, multiple suggestions. But at the end of the day, as an expert person, what we have to do is we need to have a systematic process. I mean, a systematic manner to go through the processes, so that we can, at the end of the process, we can say that, okay, we have covered most of it. I mean, so that is what today we are trying to do in this webinar. We are trying to introduce a process, how one can go about it. So we have divided into three major things. I mean, one is to audit existing telecom processes. See, every organization, they will be using in some sort of form, they will be using communication means. They might have a PBX, they might not have a PBX. It's also not necessarily that every organization has a PBX, every organization has a call center. If it doesn't add value to their or the way they do their businesses, yeah, then it need not be that these equipments are there, but still telecom obviously will be useful. Now, uh, for example, we have also told that for very small organizations, it is not even necessary that there is a PRX or there is a call center dialer or things like that. It is enough, in the new earlier it was more like any company starting, you have a telecom wiring. I mean, even very say 2-3 decades back, the company started with a telecom cabling. The first thing is somewhere put a PBX, the telecom cables will come, and then every desktop will have will have a phone. But today those things have changed. Every desktop does not have a phone. I mean, if it is a company with 3 or 4 people, you just need your mobile phones and maybe a CUG group to have calling between the SIMs free of charge, and that more or less suffices the telecom needs. So, but for a large organization, surely they will have some PBX equipment, some dialer. So, how to go about analyzing these equipments, how to go about optimizing these equipment. Then second thing is, one key thing is that the telecom bills. I mean, it's like, again, any organization, it is more like there is an electricity bill, there is a water bill, there is a telecom bill. So are they having an optimum telecom bill? Are they paying more? How to optimize that? That would be the second part. And third part is even more important. It contributes much more to the organizational growth, which is auditing the existing business processes. Yeah. So, so starting from existing telecom processes, okay, we optimize a little. I mean, what we do is we optimize them. So it's only an optimization process. But the new business process or business processes which are not at in the realm of the telecom, to convert it to telecom, that would bring in that is where the organization really grows, going to the next step. It's like if say organization was assume account receivable. I mean, even the account receivable, say they had a department of maybe 10 people sitting and calling all the defaulters and trying to get the money. Now suddenly, see, this is a very unorganized way of doing the things. Maybe they will have a list and they will pick off the people from the list, and or maybe they might enter it into an Excel sheet. But then, there is a whole set of debt collection processes which is very well organized. If the team of 10 people, if they do it in the initial manner, they might be able to cover maybe at a reasonable level, maybe 500 people in a day. Whereas if you go with a call center equipment and make the processes efficient, they can reach even 2,000 to 3,000, which is suddenly efficiency building up to 400 500%. So let us now take each of these items and go through it. Now, while auditing, we have to keep our eyes on 3 or 4 main factors. That is, one thing is obviously in all the factors that come, can I reduce my cost? How can I reduce my cost? Is it by having a different service provider? Or maybe instead of 5 people making calls, I can have 3 people making calls. So how to reduce the cost, improve the efficiency? Can I, like earlier we told, if there are 10 people, can I make them call 2,000 people than the 500 people whom they call now? Yeah. Another very important factor with the help of telecom is the availability. See, the availability is a big issue because customers always want or feel that the organizations are there 24/7. Whenever they have a need, they want to reach the organization, not when the organization is open. That is not acceptable to many of the customers. So telecom is exactly the one, and deploying people 24/7. That is, 3 shifts and to be available to the customer. There is a huge cost being incurred, and it could be possible, if I don't know, if you are selling biscuits, most probably midnight nobody is going to call and ask what is wrong with your biscuit. So, so it is not even required to have a person or a few agents working in the night to take those complaints. So telecom can surely, there are automized processes in telecom which can take the complaints and then create the tickets, and next day morning it can be processed. Or even if it is a immediate requirement, even night itself, it can be automized to wake up the service engineer or the whoever can rectify these issues. So all these things, obviously, at the end of the day, we want everybody, any organization which grows also wants to parallelly improve the customer service standards. So ultimately, it all has to result in the customer service standards. And as a process, how do we go about it? So as I told earlier, primarily we have to audit. We have to then we have to consult. I mean, we have to audit means we have to figure out, we have to find out what are the processes, existing processes and things like that. Then we have to consult, we have to discuss. Then we have to procure whatever the new things, or I mean, there's a spelling mistake. We have to procure the new things which has to be taken. And then last, we have to measure. Has this promised efficiency, the promised availability, has the cost reduced? All those things we have to measure. And then again, this is like a cycle. These 4 things. Again, we have to audit what can be improved, what can be. So even, when we have a customer and or a partner company, our role is never ending. I mean, it is not that we sell one product and run away. We should be the telecom partner. We should be the telecom advisor to these, to our customers or our organizations. Meanwhile, while we go through it, if any questions arise, you can put it in the chat box, or if it is an urgent question, cannot wait, you can also raise your hand. I think Firdaus will direct you. Otherwise, you can put the questions in the chat. We will, towards the end, we will go through each and every question. So what we say is that, and today telecom has innumerable possibilities. I mean, it was earlier, telecom, when we could take our phone and just call, we were very happy. But today, businesses are built on telecom. There are, it has become an integral part of the whole cycle. I don't know. You can see organizations like even like a Uber, and the once the customer has booked the cab, then the cab the driver has to call the customer has to call the and all this communication is being, it is not that they all take their phones. It has to go through the Uber office and office systems, and the customer should not know the agent's number, and agent should not know the customer's number, and they have to be connected, they have to communicate. So it is not that the Uber business process, I mean, maybe 50% of it is the app, another 50% is this call system. So it is very important, again, delivery agents, Swiggy, everybody has somewhere telecom integrated much into their organization. And that's what I'm telling, as a telecom consultant, as the telecom expert, you be the change agent, you be the brings in much more efficiency into our customer organizations. That is a message we have to take. And today we are going to describe the process, how you can be the change agent, how you can organization, so that it is not only just selling the products, it is about benefiting to the customer. So first we'll go through audit existing telecom processes. As I told earlier, we audit existing telecom processes, telecom bills, and then audit business processes. So first is audit existing telecom processes. So now, generally, in a typical corporate scenario, we could have 4 type of telecom setups. I mean, one is or telecom setups or telecom for calls. One is on the PBX inbound, and then again PBX outbound. Then we have call centers inbound, call centers outbound. So we will. As you see, we are going in a very systematic manner. So first, we have to ask the customer or to the organization whom we are auditing. Okay, tell us PBX inbound. What are the inbound calls coming into this organization? What are the timings when the call comes? How do you handle the calls? What is the typical process? Do you have a reception? Do you have a IVR? Do you have a voicemail? How does all the customers or your employees get the calls? Do they have individual DIDs? So just get a picture of the whole thing. And along with this, for example, we are giving you some salient points which you can identify, which you say that, oh yeah, here there is an optimization. And it is not that we can list out the optimization possibilities. So we have listed a few optimization possibilities. So the one very simple thing is that, do they have a 24/7 IVR? See, it is, imagine I am a customer who is calling to an organization and the telephone there is just ringing. I mean, maybe I'm calling it night 10 o'clock, but the telephone is just ringing and nobody is picking up. What is the impression? I would almost say that what is this? Does this organization, does it even have a security who can pick up a telephone? You know, my impression about the organization is, very much down. So now a 24/7 IVR is a very simple thing. Almost all PBXs support it. Only that most probably this organization would not have activated it. So it's as simple, the call comes, there's an IVR, good evening, sir. Currently you are calling outside our normal office timings, but surely we can help you. If you have to deal with a complaint, please press 1, or even things like if you have a very urgent matter, please press 2, and then we can connect to somebody external. So you see, and the whole thing is, there is no additional cost to it. It is an IVR is a functionality which any decent PBX today provides. So by just enabling that functionality, suddenly the outlook of your organization has changed. Next is missed call management with callback. So now, all said and done, however we organize everything, there will be missed calls. Maybe our employees might not attend it, or they might even if they are sitting full time on their desk, even they might go to the restroom, they might get a call. It is a missed call. Again, it is, the customer is angry because for the customer, I have bought this product. I don't know, be it a shirt or be it a fridge. I bought the fridge or TV from this organization. His impression is always, this is the best organization company And then when I call this company and nobody picks up, then he's frustrated. Oh, he's changing his impression, the image. So a very efficient missed call management with callback. And so somewhere, we can have a list of missed calls which has come into the organization, be it to anybody. It can be to a particular DID or to the reception. It can be very nicely listed out. And then one by one, the calls can be, they can be called back. And once a callback is done, the number is removed from the list. And so thereby we ensure that 100% all the customers are being called back. So that's a simple workflow, again, very effective. Yeah, the other option is that, if we are not available 24/7, what we could even do is we can set up a voicemail. And today, the voicemail, once a voicemail has landed, it can be attached to a ticket saying that, okay, ticket number so and so, call came at 11 o'clock in the night, and then maybe assigned to one employee. So the next day morning when he comes, he opens his CRM, he immediately finds a ticket, he listens to the message, calls back, completes the grievance. It could be, if it is a grievance ticket, or there is also a method where the voicemail itself, it can be immediately sent as an email to any email ID, so that the employees can, open their emails on their mobile, even when they're outside, and then see that, oh, okay, the call has come. Is it urgent? Is it not urgent? That also they can decide. And then, either immediately respond, or they can decide if it is enough to respond the next day. Just imagine if you get a call, you call, your fridge is not working at night 11 o'clock, and within 10 minutes you get a call back from the person. It's not even required that he comes and repairs the fridge in the night. It is enough if he calls you back at 11:10 and says that, yeah, tomorrow morning 8 o'clock an engineer will visit your home. The customer is delighted. So these are the things where we have to see that we have to find mechanisms to see how we can delight our customers. Yeah, the other thing is call forwarding. Call forwarding, also at the night, if it is say in the IVR he presses, it's a very high emergency, maybe we can forward the call to the mobile one of the employees. So as you see that, for example, all these methods, what we have described now, is more to improve the availability, and not necessarily to reduce the cost. It improves the efficiency, it improves the availability. And as we described, it in turn surely contributes much to the improve the customer service standards. Okay, so now we have PBX outbound call management. Again, it's not that all the possible inbound things have been mentioned here. It depends on companies, organizations, when you audit organizations. So therefore we are also telling that, once you understand, once you audit the customers, you come to you have your suggestions, and you can even consult us, consult employees of astTECS, to say that, okay, I went to this organization, this is the type of telecom things there, and I want to suggest these 5 things, and we will also suggest you more things. So we will also review your suggestions and see what else, how we can help. And I promise that surely even our employees will be available for this type of reviews, and I am also surely available. So because we all together, we have to benefiting the customer. That is the most important thing. So next is PBX outbound call management. Now, outbound call management is one main thing is that, of course, like we described earlier, the callbacks and all those things also come under the outbound and inbound call management. So a very efficient outbound callback system is a must for any organization. The other thing is that how the trunks are used. See, the trunk usage is a matter. One is a cost factor, which we will also see when we come to the audit things. Also, there are also other aspects on the trunk. For example, nowadays, I mean, for the people who are not very familiar, we have mainly for 3 or 4 types of trunk. That is, there is an analog trunk, which is a very old technology. Then we have a digital trunk, which is ISDN, PRI, BRI. Then we come to this. We have VoIP trunks, that is for international calls. We can use VoIP trunks. Then we have SIP PRIs. Then we have GSM trunks, GSM, or even now not only GSM, even 4G, 5G, LTE trunks. So for each and every situation, some of these are very useful. For example, what generally the organizations notice is that calls from mobile has a very high pickup ratio. So so when we are calling, for example, if you use a GSM trunk, the mobile number appears in the customer number. And normally customers pick up a GSM, a mobile number more often than a landline number. So these type of things, multiple things are there. And so mixing and matching what type of trunk and how it will help us to so that the customers pick up more calls and interact more with more. That is comes under the efficient trunk utilization. So it is important to know analog trunks, digital trunks, PRI, this SIP PRI, VoIP trunks, GSM trunks, LTE trunks, the characteristics of each of these, and how they can help in speeding up some of the processes. Next, we have call centers. So now, okay, now a typical corporate might not have a call center setup, but somebody who has already started in the path of more having efficient processes would have already some call center type of setup in place. So the call center is, when we tell call center, it is more like it is a group of people who execute the same process. I mean, same telecom process is what is called call center. It is not that people who have doing a particular process. It is when any organization, if I have 10 people to look after my accounts receivable, if I have 10 people who will only take the customer compliance, then it's like a call center, or it is organized like a call center. See, it is even organization on its growth path, they also have account receivable, they have complaint management, but then there is nothing like a group of 5 people only for accounts management, or a group of 5 people only for. So now when it comes to call centers, that is, those are the people that they have already started organizing these things. Now if they already have a call center, say now again we told there are 4 types. So that is PBX inbound, PBX outbound, call center inbound, and call center outbound. So now we are at call center outbound, inbound. In call center inbound, we have seen in many organizations, there is possible to have a high level of optimization using IVR automation. Because now we can see the complaint management. Now, Complaint management, assume that it's a complaint management process. So typically, the customer calls. Yeah. It could be, I have a issue and I would like to bring my device to your service center. Where is your service center? So, these 20-30% of the calls which comes to the complaint management center are like this. But this is something which an IVR can easily handle. If you want to know as soon as a user comes in itself, we can tell that if you need an info, please press 1. If you need like that, we can have a process. So when he presses info, he wants 1, and then service center, or even 1 is service center address, See, these optimizations has to happen in the organization over a time period. They have to see that typically what are the type of calls coming in, categorize the calls, and then see that is really a human required to handle it, or can I have a process? Or if somebody wants just information, so you press 1 for info, and then 1 for brochure of IPPA based brochure, 2 for call center brochure, So immediately the whole process can be automated, even the brochure can be automatically sent. To that level, IVR automation is possible. So, one of the main audit process is, and I am telling you, if they have an inbound call center process, there is, and they are not using an IVR, surely there's a big scope for IVRs. It is a no-brainer. You can guaranteed analyze that process in little more detail. You will find at least our objective is not to reduce the manpower, but at least if 10 people are there, 2-3 people might not be even needed. The workforce can be reduced to minimum 7 or 8 if they are not using any IVR. And if they have a call center system or a PRBX system inbound, that system already has an IVR. Such systems never comes without an IVR. It is only that the organization has not taken the trouble to deploy the IVR. So see, all these things, what I'm telling is, it is not necessarily that they have to buy some new product, or they already have the product. We are, as a consultant, we are only throwing light to the things what they have to do. Yeah. Another thing is that, see, now also newer technologies are coming into play. Now, ML, machine learning. Machine learning is a very big branch today of artificial intelligence, which is going to go into almost all the organizations. It's like machine learning is like I don't know, in 1990s software. So or 80s, people started so there is something called software, is that, and then what is the software? 1990s people started, organizations started using software. Today, I don't know, there is no almost any reasonable sized organization. Lot of things are based running on software. Similarly, machine learning is a part of artificial intelligence, which is going to become ubiquitous. Another 5 years, every organization will have some form of machine learning running through the organization. Any organization worth its metal. See, today we also see, for example, this smart cars, self-driving cars. All those things are basically applications of machine learning. Now, even in the call centers, this machine learning can be applied. That is when, for example, we see that the agent profile and the customer profile, there are matching agent profiles and customer profiles to get a much higher success. So now as the calls go in, one can take dispositions like assume, okay, take a simple sales call. Okay, sales call is successful, sales call is not successful. Now, what happened? Oh, okay. That was a old aged person. The customer was an aged person. The agent was John. Oh, John, the call was success. After some time, maybe a pattern emerges. Okay, John is very successful with older customers. Maybe because he's a very patient and he's very soft-spoken, all those things. So next time when a aged customer comes, when an old customer comes, always connect him with John because John is much more successful. These type of patterns can be recognized and can be employed. So that is the skill-based routing. And these I mean, I'm not talking about any rocket science. These technologies are available today. Yeah, ticketing workflow. Many of the inbound processes can be automatically connected to a ticketing system, and then the complete workflow happens. So there is nothing like in the olden times where the employee sits and then he types into the CRM and then a ticket is generated. All these things are not even required. 24/7 availability. Again, customer or agents or employees available in the office for 24/7 is not necessarily a very optimal solution, but the customer expects it. Customer is delighted when we are available 24/7. So we can have remote working people taking calls from homes and all these things. You need a very efficient telecom system to manage this. The call, because the call always come to the organization. Now maybe send the call out to the employee who is sitting at home. Maybe he didn't pick up. Then you have to try for the second person, or you can have. I think one of our customers, what they do is they send it to 3 or 4 of their employees. It's like a group ringing, and one of the people will pick it up. So multiple such solutions can be deployed depending on the customers or customer organization. Okay, so now I think inbound. Now we come to outbound. Outbound. Again, one more no-brainer in outbound is predictive dialing. When you have a outbound process, typically what happens is that assume we have a process where there is no machine involved. And so what happens, say, in the morning when the agent goes to the office, he gets a sheet with some 500 numbers printed or 1,000 numbers printed, and he is sitting and calling the first number, pick it, second number, oh, that guy is busy, third number, oh yeah, I got him. And then he is talking to the customer for assume say 90 seconds. No, but all these 3 tries which he had earlier, he is almost spending 30 seconds because he has to look at the sheet, he has to type it, and then he has to wait for the tone. And once the tone is then only he will understand, okay, the customer is available, not available. Then so 20 to 30 seconds easily goes in the process. So that means 3 attempts, he has already spent 1.5 minutes. Then he has an actual talk time 1.5 minutes. So very simple calculation is to say that 50% of this time goes in dialing and 50% in actual talk time. So now predictive dialing is a technology where the system dials. So if I have 5 agents, the system sends out 10 calls. I mean, or it automatically adjusts 10 calls or 12 calls or 8 calls. There is an adaptive algorithm behind it. And the customer hits, say 6 or 5, immediately the 5 agents get it. So, and this process keeps running in the background. So that is why, so what happens is, maybe the agents have a delay of maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds between the calls. So almost they get an efficiency of 80%, 90% of their talk time. Now 90% of their time they will be actively working. So now you see the efficiency has improved from 50% to almost 90%, or for calculation purpose assume 100%. So 50%. So earlier, without the system, we were almost wasting 50% of the employee time in doing this dialing activity. So, which is, if you have a 100 people call center, you can calculate what is the amount of money which goes into it. I mean, simple calculation. I mean, in India, agent with all the overheads cost the company around 25,000-30,000 rupees. 50% of it is 15,000 rupees into 100. We are talking about 15 lakh rupees in a month. The whole dialer setup will cost him maybe 4 or 5 lakhs. So it is a no-brainer that they can even recover the money in a month. So I think we have to also go a little faster because I think we are getting short of time. So now, okay, one example, what we had, one of our customers, Hathway, they are into broadband and digital cable. They are one of the main broadband and digital cable providers in Bangalore, mostly South India. So they had agents. They had around 120 agents giving services to the customers, and mostly it was more like it was billing and new customer registration. So some customers will come and I don't know, I didn't receive a bill. Can you resend the bill? It's as simple as that. So what they did, they created an IVR. They all these automatic processes, they kept it into one IVR, and only where they require a real manpower, they are forwarded to the agents. And it was tremendous. I mean, it was almost like 50% agents they could reduce. From 120, they could come to 60 sort of agents. And imagine the amount of money the Hathway is sparing by that. Okay, now we move to the second section, that is audit telecom bills. I'll be going a little fast. If anything is very unclear, you can also stop me in between, because I think we are almost, we have only covered one section and we have 2 more sections remaining.
Yeah, a little faster, sir.
Yeah. So I think audit telecom bills is easy, very, very quick session it is. See, telecom bills, I mean, again, telecom bills, we have to ask the customer what is their domestic bill, what is their international bill, what is the share of international bill. So, for example, domestic, when typically you see, now I am telling the prices, more the Indian prices, I would believe these things will be applicable in other. When we take a PRI, it will be 5,000 rupees connection, or that is the cheapest connection. Okay, people say that I won't have any calls, so give me a 5,000 rupee connection. But then the call charges are high for the 5,000 rupee connection, and suddenly they won't even notice that they are maybe paying 25,000, 30,000 rupee bill, and nobody checks it because actually an unlimited PRI so is available for 15,000 rupees. Yes, and afterwards, once you take that PRI, you can keep calling unlimited. You pay only the 15,000, and most people don't even notice that. Most of the organizations, at some point, they would have taken the 5,000 rupee basic connection and paying all these call charges. International is where amazing this thing reductions can be have. Generally, service providers have call charges like 5 rupees, 6 rupee, 8 rupee to US. I mean, US is still less, but more many other countries, they even have 20 rupees, 30 rupees like that. And our VoIP US billing is available, US is available at 60 paisa, the 0.6 rupees per minute. These are huge cost reductions what they can bring in. So it is always important to understand what are the first get what is the telecom bill, what they are spending, and then there is always a possibility of optimization which you can carry out. Now the auditing business processes. So now we have gone through whatever the existing things we have covered. Now audit business processes. We have to see that is this organization spending much time for any typical business process? What is those business process? It could be, some typical business processes are complaint management, account receivable, information retrieval. So assume they have a complaint management system. Now, how can we optimize it? I think earlier also we told in the call center scenario, it's a complaint management. So either sometimes they don't even have a telecom system at all. So then, how we can optimize it, but this can be done in multiple ways. We can have a IVR automation is possible. I think we have gone through the IVR automation. Nowadays, voice bots are available. That is again artificial intelligence, and also even another application of machine learning, which I told you. See, this is where machine learning is becoming ubiquitous. Voice bots or even chat bots. Voice bots is just a speech recognition and speech to text of chat bots. Even the speech recognition, text to speech, all these things are machine learning applications. So voice bots is another one application where people can go to the website, they can ask the queries, and they will get the responses. Omni-channel call centers is another this thing which is becoming very popular, because see, the customer needs are not necessarily restricted to one channel. So it is possible that customer is calling and then okay, assume it is a simple typical registration process. I think we have implemented for one customer recently. So the call center is getting a registration process, and then the customer is telling that okay, the agent is telling okay, please send your ID card. So how he sends ID card? The ID card is message. So immediately the customer is taking his ID card, taking a screenshot, taking a picture and sending it as a WhatsApp image, and this lands on the agent's desk. On his screen, he has a WhatsApp window. So once the message lands, he immediately says, okay, now assume he can ask for more documents. Once he receives all the documents, now he has registered the customer, and maybe the customer gets an ID card back, which again can go as a WhatsApp message. So this combination of all these things also is required for a very efficient processing. Otherwise, if it was like earlier, just a voice call center, then we have to tell him, okay, now next week, you please send your ID card, a photocopy of your ID card. The ID card has to reach here. You see how complicated the whole process is. Whereas if we have an omni-channel setup, we could have finished everything in 5 to 10 minutes, which would have otherwise taken weeks and a lot more efforts. So I have one or two small case studies here. The Kus is also a customer of ours who is doing HR processes, and this onboarding is nowadays a very big point. Because they do it in masses. I don't know, 50, 100 employees have to be onboarded. So there are a lot of small processes employees have to once the interview they have passed, so maybe they have to send some documents. And normally all these things were manually done. That is, oh, this document has not, somebody to morning, who all has not sent their pay slips. Okay. Then okay, one by one call all these people. Then who all has not given their Aadhaar card, who all has not given their PAN number. So all these things, one by one, somebody has to keep calling, get all these details, maybe send some information to the agent, to the employee. Today, what they are doing is the whole process is automated. Once employee is being accepted, he goes into an automation process. It is checked. Okay, did he bring his PAN card? Did he bring his pay slip? Whatever is missing, immediately a call goes to. I mean, there's no agent involved. There is no person involved. The call goes to the. The call goes to a automatic call goes to the employee, and oh, I think somebody is learning painting. So, and then the whole process happens without any intervention of any employee. So this GUS has implemented. We also had another recruiter from Oman, STS, who also in a similar process. They had the problem that they have 100, 200 employees who has to board the flight and reach Oman from India. Now, some of them won't even turn out. Then the flight ticket might be cancelled, or their room, they would have booked hotels in Oman. The hotel has to be cancelled. So all those things. So now, what happens is something 72 hours before the flight, automatically it is confirmed that, oh, the employee is going to board. He has received the ticket. He has all the passport ready, everything. Otherwise, again, it is an IVR which goes, an outbound IVR, which is called also a voice blasting. And then he types, okay, I have received everything. I have the passport. I mean, he confirms 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. And then in case, say out of the 100 employees, 2 does not confirm something, then of course, manual intervention, they will call and they will ask what happened. Otherwise, it goes to the next process. Again, 24 hours before, again, a call comes, reconfirmation. 4 hours before, another call goes to asking them to go to the airport. And even before boarding the flight, okay, that they are at the flight gate. I mean, all this have been tracked, and it might sound very silly, but the company saves quite a lot of amount of money on cancellations and things like that. Then we have Titan, favorite of our ladies jewelry company. So normally, people like jewelries, but then they don't exactly like the way it is available in the shops. So there is always some modification. They require some modification, and they send these jewelries back, ask the shop guy to make some small modification. So Titan has across the country, across India shops, and all this comes to one service center in Bangalore, and then it has to be tracked. Okay, it has come, it has reached the service center, it has been processed, and customers keep calling and asking about the status. So for the whole complete this thing, one IVR was deployed, and earlier there was a larger agent sitting and answering all these queries, and so that was also rationalized. So I think we are coming to the end of it. So as I initially told, or what is the take home today? Be the change agent for your organizations, the organizations whom you know, the telecom organizations whom you know. How you can do it? Simple 3-4 steps process. Identify large corporates. I mean, see, there's no point. I mean, if it is some five employee company, most probably there is nothing to optimize. They have already optimized. It is, you have to identify larger corporates whom you know, and see that, and there will be in such a corporate, there will be almost something to optimize, and then take them through. For example, this presentation itself will be available to you. Take them to this presentation. Tell them, see, there are multiple possibility to optimize, and as a general thing, what do you think? Do you have this inbound call center inbound? Do you have PBX inbound? Do you have PBX outbound? The PBX outbound means this. PBX inbound means this. Explain the process to the stakeholders. Discuss with the stakeholders. They will come up with things, and then, as I told, we are all available here. You can bring your suggestions. You can bring whatever you have audited and bring your suggestions, and discuss it with us once again. We can also suggest what can be done, and then go back to the corporate and present it. So when they have this efficiency optimization, when they see that they have saved money because you have consulted them, then automatically whatever business you have to get, you will get. You don't need to worry about it. But first, we have to benefit the organizations, and then the rest will be taken care of. So in that note, I would like to end the formal presentations and go open for the questions. I hope.
Thank you, sir, for wonderful presentations and for sharing the knowledge on how to make the enterprise telecom effective to increase the efficiencies and the cost saving. So now let's move on to the questions and answer sessions. There are a few questions which has come up. I think Mr. Purushottam has raised a hand in between the presentations. He has some query. Mr. Purushottam, if you're available, can you just unmute yourself and start your video so that we can know what is your exact query for the discussions? Mr. Purushottam? Mr. Purushottam, are you available? Can you please unmute yourself and can we have the questions? I think he's not available. Anyway, we can come later on to Mr. Purushottam. Second question is to Mr. Ramurthy from Ramurthy. Can we get a demo of the omni-channel call center solutions provided?
Yeah, sure. You can get the demo of the omni-channel call center solution provided. I don't know if Binish or somebody who has a screenshot, if we could see if we can get it, we can just show it now, and surely we can also arrange the demo on schedule.
Yeah, we will arrange the demo, but by the time, let me just check if there is any screenshot. Yeah, continue with the other question. I will come back.
Okay, a question has come from Mr. Dan Bhavanika. He's saying we need a sample as a partners. Mr. Danika, can you unmute yourself? We would like to know what exactly your query is. He's only said we need a sample as a partners. Is it you require presentations or okay? He wants so Mr. Dan, are you available? Yeah, Mr. Dan. Yeah. Please, Mr. Dan. Mr. Dan, can you just unmute and I think he has a problem in the audio. Okay, we are just going to the next question. Mr. Atif Kazi, he said he required details on the omni-channel call center solutions.
Yeah, sure. I think, yeah, we
Yeah.
understand that the omnichannel is quite a new development, and I think it's not surprising that not everybody has seen the demo. But I think then surely we will have scheduled maybe this week, next week we can schedule the omnichannel call center.
Yeah. If somebody can make me cost, I can just show the screen for those who
Okay.
want to see the screen now.
Oh, 1 second. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I'm just sharing the screen. Hope my screen is visible.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just a screenshot. Okay, I think we will arrange a separate demo of the omni-channel solution for our partners and the end customers. Maybe the respective salespeople will arrange the same. So this is how it will the interface of the user interface of omni-channel. So here you can see the multiple applications. You can have SMS, you can have messenger, you can have call, click to call, incoming outgoing call functionality, Instagram, you can have the WhatsApp, right? You can have the web chat. So all okay, this is email and this is the SMS. Hello, any question? Any questions? So this is how it is. So it is integrated with all this multiple social channels or communication channels, including call. Okay, so anybody responds to any of these channels, it will be routed to respective user or agent who is assigned with those leads, and they can respond back from here itself. Okay, so yes, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So see, basically the scenario is that the agent is sitting in front of the. Oh, is it finished laptop or?
It's a finished laptop.
No,
Okay.
it's my laptop.
I
Yeah.
got scared. It was my laptop. Okay. So typically, the agent sitting in front of the computer, and he gets the screen. Okay, his customer is Shabir T, and oh, I think.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Yeah. So his customer is Shabir T, and he can one shot see all the communications from the customer. He can so he can say, as Binish told, there are multiple tabs. There is one tab for email, one tab for calls. So in one shot, the agent can see what all communication has happened from the organization to this customer. It is not only that all the channels are available. It is also that there could be different departments in the organization. In the sense, the accounting department, the product delivery department. So maybe the accounting department would have sent a message to the person saying that you have not paid your amount. So all those things, the agent can see. Okay, what sometimes also there are some very smart customers who will play around with because they think that one part of the organization doesn't know what is happening in the other part. So they might smartly play around. So those type of situations can be avoided with this multi-channel. And again, as in the scenario, it could be possible that, okay, now I need an ID card from the customer, and I am on call with the customer, and I need an ID card. Okay, please send the ID card. And that ID card I can see in the WhatsApp tab. And if I want to respond on WhatsApp, I can respond on WhatsApp. Or if I want to send an SMS, I can maybe I want to send some coupons or something like that. If as an SMS, I can send it on the SMS tab. So at the same time, I can communicate with this customer all the channels. So maybe while Binish brings the screen once again, maybe we can go through the next questions and then we can come back to the, I can explain the screen once again once we get the screen.
I thought my screen is visible.
No, Binish.
Okay.
Then you have
we
to
can
just share.
yeah, I think yes.
Okay, so just to once again, I mean, Shabir is my customer, and we have this different tabs. So now, what all communication has happened to Shabir? What all mails has gone to Shabir from this organization will be listed under this under the email tab, and all the calls which has happened, not only the calls of this agent, all the calls which has happened from the organization to the customer will be listed under the calls and call logs, and they can also listen to the calls. If I don't know, accounts department, as I told, accounts department, or maybe WhatsApp chats. So all these things will be listed and also in a chronological order. Yeah, I think Manish, that's fine. I think if any doubts are there, we can.
Sir, we are moving on to the next questions. A question is from Mr. Manmohan. What is an outbound call?
I mean, outbound, yeah, it's just whatever call goes from the organization to the customer is an outbound call. Calls coming into the organization are inbound calls, and calls going out of the, that is, if a employee is calling a customer, that is an outbound call.
Yeah, I hope Mr. Manmohan, you have understood the definitions of outbound call. Next question is coming from Mr. Alan Hitimana. Do you have a written procedure for a telecom process audit?
We don't have a written process as we mentioned, but I think in this presentation itself, we have organized it into a process wise. So most probably either you can take the presentation itself, and I mean, you can very clearly, all those points are noted. And surely you can also add, I mean, as I mentioned, most of the, when we tell inbound PABX, not all the possibilities we have listed. The possibilities are also innumerable, and it also depends on the corporate. So once we have the corporate, we can have more possibilities, but the general outline is what we have put in the presentation today.
Okay, next question is from Mr. Victor. Please prepare and share the templates for comparing business cases for optimization touch points.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think we can take this presentation as a basis of some of the points which we wanted to cover, and surely we will, I think also we will encourage even our internal sales employees to add more and more optimization touch points. Surely we'll do that.
Yeah. There is a direct message from Mr. Dan Bhavanika. I think previously also he tried to connect with us. His message is reduce on the amounts for partners to receive the samples. Mr. Dan Bhavanika, if you're online, can you just unmute and just give us a brief clarification on the query what you have raised?
Is it related to this?
Yeah, I think he said first he has question
about telecom our demo.
Yeah, he said just reduce on the amounts for the partners to receive the samples.
Okay, I think that may be a different topic. What's his good name?
Mr. Dan Buanika.
Okay. So we will reach out to them maybe after the webinar.
And surely we have discounted products for demo purposes for partners. So surely we can contact them. That's
okay. Next question is from Mr. Nicholas. He said, I'm interested in understanding your call tech center solutions, and also if there is a case scenario where I can interact with an already working one.
Okay, sure. I think
I think
Nicholas is from where?
Nicholas, if you're on, can you just unmute and let us know from which location are you? Mr. Nicholas?
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
after this, I think you can contact Binish.
Yeah. So Nicholas, yeah, we will do the needful. We will share your required information and the respective salesperson will reach out to you. Yeah. So I think you can hear us. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, this is from Mr. Baraka. Thanks for the good presentation. Thank you so much, Mr. Baraka, for participations. Next question is from Miss Sikha Pathak. Can we integrate astTECS in our in-house software?
Yeah.
Miss Sikha, can we just detail it what software you have, and if you're online, you can unmute yourself. Miss Sikha?
Okay. To answer that question, of course, we can integrate astTECS astTECS products to the in-house software. See, that is the actual advantage or the actual or main selling point of IP-based products, IPPABX, IP-based call center, IP-based voice logger, IP-based IVR, that your organization network. See, typically every organization has software which also runs on their LAN, and that is IP based. And having an IP based product is the main advantage is that we can integrate these products with the in-house softwares, be it a CRM, ERP, all any of these products. See, typical scenarios are people have the in-house CRM. They want to make a call to all their customers are listed there. They want to make a call to the customer. They just click on the screen, get the customer on the screen and click on the customer. Automatically, call comes to their desk. Call goes to the customer, or they want to check out what did I talk to the customer last week. I mean, maybe people forget that, or what exactly did I talk to the customer? What did I promise him? I mean, he is telling I promised him something, I don't even remember. Okay, so immediately you can go to take the customer tab, check out all the calls which has been made to the customer, listen to it again. See, these are the innumerable possibilities what an IPPABX or a IP-based call center gives to organizations, and that is the main benefit of buying an IPPABX compared to an older generation EPBX and especially astTECS type of organizations. Again, it is also not a just an IPPABX. It is a open source based IPPABX, and it is an open system. And these open systems are made to work with other softwares. So, and that thanks to Shika raising this point, that
thank you, sir.
That is a key point of this product. Yeah, I think Shika is online.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes, sir. Is my voice audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're audible. You can.
Sir, actually, we having a grievance portal in which we actually want to integrate that software so that we can call directly from our software to all our complainants.
Yeah. What portal it is?
Sir, we have grievance portal.
Grievance portal. Yeah. It's a very typical application. So in the grievance portal, you have the customer number. You just click on the customer number. The calls will go automatically to the customer. And then, as I mentioned, whatever you talk to the customer, it will be recorded. We can give a link to your software so that your software can save it somewhere. And then
that's great, sir.
Yeah. So later you can also listen to those calls, what was talked earlier, or even, your colleague would have, maybe you were not in the office, so your colleague would have talked. So you want to know what your colleague has talked. So all those things are possible.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sika. Once from messages from Nicholas, he was muted. Did you answer my query? Yes, Mr. Nicholas, I think Mr. Binish will be in touch with you for detailing on the call center solutions.
And
sure.
Binish, you have Nicholas' contact? Otherwise,
sir, I will share it after the presentations.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Should be having it.
Yes. Next is from Mr. Baraka. For me, I want to understand more about visitor management solutions, especially in receptionists.
Visitor management, is it calls coming into the reception or?
He's saying, mentioning visitor management solutions, especially in receptionists.
Yeah. No, is Baraka available?
Yeah, Mr. Baraka, are you available? You can unmute and just brief your query. Mr. Baraka?
Oh, sir.
He's muted. Sorry.
Okay, I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we can connect after the presentations.
See I mean, of course, receptionist, I mean, visitors calls coming to the reception, the receptionist forwarding the calls in the organization. All those things, normally, if somebody has IPPA from astTECS, they get a receptionist screen, and in that screen, all the employees are listed. The receptionist can directly see, oh, this employee is busy, this employee is making an outgoing call. So when an incoming call comes on the screen itself, she can tell that, oh, currently the employee is in call, either you can please wait. And from there, she can forward the calls, she can transfer the calls, all those things she can do. So I'm not very sure if that is what Baraku means. Baraku is asking for that receptionist solution with, visitors. I'm not sure if it is clear. Otherwise, we can also take it later offline. Maybe there is some problem with this audio.
Yeah. Sir, moving on to the next questions. The next question is from Mr. Samuel. Can we have a system that integrates with the hospital system?
Yeah, sure, Samuel. We have, the PIBICS, as such, we have done multiple integrations for hospitals. So it starts with an IVR, which is a typical IVR. One of the main problems of hospitals is appointment fixing. So this IVR is capable of fixing appointments. You can feed in with all the doctors and appointment times and all those things. And so whenever anybody comes, if they want to fix an appointment, they can completely carry out the appointment fixing with the IVR. Another system what we have integrated in hospital, typical hospital system, is the announcement system. See, the hospitals typically, when they have an emergency, they have divided the hospital into multiple zones, and so either if there is emergency, it will be announced in all the zones, or it will be announced in only particular zones, or it will, then there are emergency categorization, code blue, code red, different codes. So there is a announcement system or paging system which is available, which we have integrated. Then the another feature is that even the Wi-Fi client. So typically these doctors are not available in their where they sit or where they are supposed to sit. They will be roaming around the hospital. So typically they can have this Wi-Fi client on their mobile phones, and wherever they are roaming, when they are doing their rounds and those type of things, they are always available if it is an emergency. So they can decide if they want to take the calls, because typically, the scenario in the hospitals are, be it doctors or nurses, they rarely sit on their desk to receive these calls. It is not like a typical organization. So those things are being taken care of. And now recently we have also integrated nurse calling systems. I don't know if you're aware of nurse calling systems. See, these are typical VIP beds and all. Normally you will have next to the bed itself some 5-6 buttons, and you press the button. You can okay, if you want just a nurse to attend, you can just press a button, and then there will be a light in front of your room which will glow. Then there will be a call going to the nursing station. Then it will be shown that, oh, bed number 23 needs assistance. So this, it can be a normal call. It can be an emergency call. When it's an emergency call, the light glowing outside the room will be red, and there will be a display, and the next calling station will have an alarm, and it integrated with the PRBX again, depending on the emergency situation, it can connect with the paging system. It can connect, calls can go to the, then there is an alarm system behind it, which we can have escalation points. So based on the escalation, the call can even go to the doctor's house. So multiple levels of escalation, quite a few possibilities are there. So in multiple ways, we have the hospitals. I mean, we have PRBX, which is integrated all these mechanisms which are typically required for hospitals, and we also have a good number of hospitals which are using these systems. I don't know, maybe Bini Shamulia will be able to list out some few names.
The hospital, okay.
Yeah.
So we have in
Walker
domestic,
Hospital,
yeah, we have Walkard, then we have
Bhakti Vedanta.
what? Maybe
Bhakti
Amulya, can you
Vedanta.
add?
Yeah. Firdaus is telling Bhakti Vedanta Hospital, Prime Hospital. There are actually many, maybe a case study we will share with the list of clients and what solution they are using. Almost all the top-notch and the premier hospitals in any major city in India, they are connected with our solution. So we will publish that list.
So can we have a question here? Can we speak?
Yeah, please, Mr. Hitesh.
Okay. Yeah, this is Hitesh here from Bahrain. Okay. Actually, sir, this whole thing, like it works with the application also, like within the system, like, it is connected with the application as well. Mobile application, I mean.
Yeah, mobile.
Like calling a nurse, or like, for any emergency system, or with a doctor, or, and one more thing, like, is it connected with some telemedicines as well, like,
See, I mean, about what we told, what is connected with the mobile is that in mobile, there could be a Wi-Fi client, and this Wi-Fi client acts like a subscriber. It is like my desktop phone. So any emergency comes, I get calls on the Wi-Fi phone. So that is what we meant with the, and telemedicine, what has to happen? I don't know the background.
Basically, like, like if there's a doctor not available in that country, and he's supporting from any other country, so that is what I'm asking, like, which does that also, like, if the video calls and everything, it can be done, right?
Yeah, sure. See, one is that in an emergency situation, reaching the doctor. So that is only how we define the escalation points. I mean, we have to define the escalation so to say, maybe patient number 20 or room number 23, there is some specialist required who is even abroad. So in case of emergency, the escalation goes directly to him. That is not an issue. Second is the video calling. Video calling is a feature of the PRBX itself. If we can have video calls either from the mobile, or we can have a proper monitor and video calls, and then you can take somebody on the other side as a part of the PRBX.
And can we connect, like, this same system, basically, like with the existing system, like the report and everything, like the client also will get, if like I'm talking about the clients, basically, not with the hospitals, but like clients also can, download at their phones, and, they can have the invoices, or they can have the reports available at their mobile application, basically. Can we do something with this? Like, can we correlate the mobile applications with the IPBX systems?
Yeah, but surely we can interface. See, the thing is, the IPBX, as I mentioned, I mean, it is open source. It is basically it is architected like a open system, and the key is to interface with other systems. So now when you tell this mobile app is available where they download invoices, this, that, we have to identify, okay, what is the functionality required? And then we have to tell that, okay, what is the information required? Either, multiple methods are available. We can pass it as an URL. We can pass it as an API call. So there are multiple mechanisms available to integrate with other systems.
Right.
Or even they can send us information saying that, can you call this number and play this voice recording? Those type of queries also possible. That, for example, that application, the other telemedicine application can send in an emergency. The telemedicine application cannot connect to the PSTN or cannot call. I mean, they don't have the call. So they can just send a API call to us with a telephone number and say that, okay, play this voice file to that person. And we can play that voice file to the person. We can sort of expand the telemedicine system to have telecom capabilities.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sitish. Thank you, sir. Let's move to the next question. The next question is from Mr. Abhishek Kumar. Is there any procedure to use it as a demo version so that we can use it and understand that whether it can be used as a daily driver handy software? Mr. Abhishek, if you're online, you can unmute and just brief your query. I hope, sir, you understand what his query is.
Yeah, see, one thing what I understand is Abhishek is asking if we have demo versions available or how somebody can demonstrate.
Yeah.
Basically, we have most of these systems available on cloud. I mean, of course, the configurations, what is available is what I have described now. I mean, like we told now for hospital, or we have specific for real estate, we have specific for schools. So these are, multiple systems. So all of them won't be readily available. A typical PBX or a call center will be readily available. These are things available on the cloud itself. So whoever is the sales contact in astTECS, you can contact them and it can be scheduled without any. I mean, I'm not very sure if I answered that question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question comes from Mr. Atik Kazi. Can your sales team contact us for the partnership proposal and the requirements, or can I have the contact info to connect to your sales team? Of course, Mr. Kazi, we can get connected for the partnership proposals and requirement. If you're online, you can just unmute yourself so that we can know from which locations you are from. Mr. Atik Kazi?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, please.
We are basically an IoT company based out of Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh.
Okay.
So I think Amulya, maybe.
Yeah, Amulya will contact.
Yeah, Atif sir, I will soon after this meeting, I will connect with you and I will get you all the information required.
Yeah. Do we have Atif contacts?
Yeah, I will take it from Firdausi.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, the registration contacts are there.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
okay,
thank you. Okay, there is one direct passage from Mr. Sharin. The main important thing that we require as a partner is testing and demonstration equipment in a complete set, and after that, technical support on configuration to our technical team. I think Bidish, you can address this.
Where is that question?
It is a direct message to me.
Oh, okay. What was that?
He said he wants a partner's requirement is testing and demonstration equipments in a complete set and a technical support on the configurations to their technical team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. He's from, what's his good name? I'm sorry.
Mr. Sharin. He said Mr. Sharin. I'm not sure which locations.
Yeah, Sharin, you are there still in this webinar. Please come online so we can discuss. Anyway, we will be reaching out to you. Yeah,
yes,
hi,
yes,
Sharin.
Yeah,
how are you?
Fine.
Sharin, oh, okay. You are from Bhutan. Okay,
yes, I am
great,
from
great.
Bhutan.
Okay, great. Nice meeting you. Thank you for joining this webinar.
Yeah, myself along with my colleague Mr. Nima, he's also attending the same meeting, I think.
Okay, great.
Yes, sir.
So you are asking the demo of the
Yeah, yeah.
product, and go ahead.
Yes, sir. I'm just coming directly to the point. The main
Okay.
thing as a business person, the main thing
Mhm.
which what we require is the main thing is a demonstration or a testing
Okay.
equipment, not
Yeah.
as a very huge testing, just a simple testing equipment.
Mhm.
The main
Okay.
requirement testing equipment,
Okay.
so that
Okay.
our technical person can they can we can train it easily, through your
Yeah.
support. Yeah.
Okay. Understand, Shrin. So, Shrin, we have different partnership models like franchisee, premium partnership. Based on that, there are certain demo products which we give it to customers for their testing, as well as to demonstrate to their end customers in case if there is a demand. At the same time, we also have a online demo for our. See, normally what we do, where we don't have demo units at customer place, and if there is a demo to be arranged for a customer, we arrange an online demo of any of our product. Today we can
Yeah.
arrange instant online demo. I think if you have you gone through our product demo online, any chance?
No, sir. I'm just
Okay.
it's my
Okay.
first time because due to
Yeah, no
some
problem.
long
What
time
we
back
do,
we have
what
due
we
to the
do,
pandemic situation. Yeah.
understand. So what we do, Sharon, we will contact you after this webinar, and we will take you through all the demo, and we will explain to you how we can demonstrate the solution to our end customers. Coming to support, yeah, we have 40 plus countries installations, and we have 5,000 plus customers across the globe today, and we have a 24/7 support center in Bangalore. So it's all IP products, and instant online support can be provided without any delays. And in case any on-site, so we have our partners, right? So
Yeah.
don't worry about the support as well. Anyway, we will be getting in touch with you shortly.
Okay, sir.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining.
Thank you. That is
Okay,
great.
thank you, Mr. Binesh. Thank you, Sharing. Next query is from Mr. Maninder Singh. His query is, I would like to make a portal like my operator. Can you help us with your hardware? Mr. Maninder, you can unmute
हाँ
and
जी हाँ जी सर मैं इंग्लिश में कंफर्टेबल नहीं हूँ
ठीक है सर, आप हिंदी पे बात करिए।
हाँ थैंक यू सर। जैसे ना एक माई ऑपरेटर है या नोलैरिटी है, आई थिंक आपको पता होगा, तो ये क्लाउड आईवीआर सर्विसेज देते हैं। तो वैसे मैं भी काफी देर से क्लाउड आईवीआर सर्विसेज दे ही रहा हूँ। मेरे दिल्ली से मैंने वो बैकएंड लिया रखा है। तो मैं ये अपना सोल्यूशन चाहता हूँ कि क्या मैं मतलब सोल्यूशन बना लूं जिसमें किसी को पता ही ना हो कि वो कैसे सेल कर रहे हैं या क्या रीसेल कर रहे हैं। बेसिकली मैं रीसेलर के तौर पे काम कर रहा हूँ, तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि वो सोल्यूशन ही मेरा अपना हो। तो वो इज इट पॉसिबल कि आपके साथ हो सके?
Okay, see, basically, we don't have a my operator or a. Sorry, I don't know to talk in Hindi.
Amulya, you can address
speak
it.
in English because
Mr.
I
Amulya,
can
you can
understand.
address it here.
Yeah, we don't have a ready-made software like my operator or Nolarity, which is readily available. But basically, it is a telecom this thing. So I think maybe we need to have a detailed discussion how exactly what is the requirement. I mean, how you want to give it. Yes, one is to say that okay, it is like my operator Nolarity, but they also have different services what they provide. I mean, it is so maybe once we get an exact picture, at the end of the day, it is based on a telecom platform only. The hardware and the software is the same, but some software has to be written on top of it so that you can handle multiple customers and do the billing for each customers, and maybe there is a credit system initially. So maybe have a discussion with you're from Delhi.
Yeah, I'm from Jalandhar, Punjab.
Jalandhar. Wait.
So maybe Amulya
Mr. Arvind and Amulya can.
Yeah. So have a
discussion. मनिंदर जी, मैं आपसे कनेक्ट करता हूँ ये मीटिंग के बाद।
ठीक है, हमारी पहले भी बात हुई है, आज से 1 साल पहले भी हुई है, इसी पेज पे हुई थी।
Okay.
Surely, sir, we will.
So thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Maninder. Thank you, Mr. Mulya. The next question is come from Mr. Abhishek Kumar. Do you guys have automated bots in case the management team goes offline or the server are in maintenance?
See, the one is that what we have is a NMS system. That is a network management system which monitors if the servers are in good health, if the servers are active, all those things. And if the systems fail, obviously alarms are raised. And also there is a redundancy concept. When if the main system fails, automatically the call goes to the secondary system. So those are the measures what we have in our systems. And I didn't understand that the management team goes offline. I don't know what that case is. If your Abhishek is available, maybe you can.
Mr. Abhishek, if you're available, can you just unmute and brief your query a bit so that we can understand? Mr. Abhishek? I think he is not available, sir.
Okay. Okay. So maybe I hope I have answered. Otherwise,
yeah. The next question is again from Mr. Shirin Dorzi. I think just now we are connected a little bit before. His query is, can we able to integrate this system with any brand of fire security system and CCTV security surveillance? For additional features, we require to, do we require to purchase a firmware or a software?
Yeah. See, it's integration, as I mentioned earlier, the power of the system is to integrate with other systems. Now, obviously, when we integrate with another system, for few things, there are some standard APIs available. Like if it is a click to call, you know, a click to call means if somebody wants to click, somebody was asking that they have a software and the customer details are there. So they just want to click and the call has to go. Those type of things, standard APIs are available. Now, for example, a fire security system, there is no standard API available. So most probably there might be some small customization required. And it is not that, see, for example, assume I told earlier this nurse calling system. So when the nurse calls, the system has to come. The nurse calling system informs the PBX that, you know, start the escalation process. And then, you know, calls are made. For example, a fire is happening, the system has to make calls to 100 people. It is maybe just one command to be passed. And you know, it will be a small customization. Which
Guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to channel. So, आज हमारे पास
it could be. You know,
Abhishek ji, please mute.
Yeah, he's mute.
Yeah, it could be just one man day customization or something. So it depends on what are the features to be integrated and how many features. There might be some a few man days of customization, but it's nothing big. I mean, and unless otherwise, there is the standard APIs is enough. Yeah, if standard APIs are there, then no need for any customization. You can directly use the system.
I hope, Mr. Shirin, your query has been answered. If you are online, can you just confirm us?
Yeah, or if you have any, okay, this is the type of integration I want, then maybe I can answer it more specific.
Mr. Shirin Dorzi? I think he's...
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. So okay. Your query has been answered, or you need further clarifications?
So for further clarification, we can discuss later on also, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much, Mr. Sarin. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Next question is from Mr. Nicholas. I'm having a problem in pitching your product in Kenya, which you can offer more support. Of course, Mr. Nicholas, my regional manager and Mr. Binish will be connected for your to resolve your issues.
can I ask one question more? Like Hitesh here again.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sir, I'm from Bahrain itself. Okay. Basically, we want to, promote your product in Bahrain, and we are looking for, the quite detailed discussion in this, how we can market and everything, and we need the support, from your end. So please let me know, like, who can have the, call, like, to whom we can have a call and everything.
Yeah, Mr. Ritesh, Binish here. Currently, you are in touch with any of the salesperson here from astTECS?
Yeah, I'm from Vipin Shravagi's team, Vipin sir.
Oh, okay, Mumbai, iconic.
Yeah, from Mumbai, yeah. So he
okay.
is in touch with me. So
Currently, you are in Bahrain.
Bahrain, yes.
Okay. So I will get in touch with you, and I will get in touch with you to discuss it further. Thank you.
Yeah. Because earlier also, like I asked, like we are looking for more detailed session and everything, to have more communication and this thing, so that we can, start promoting the products here in Bahrain.
So Hitesh, you have a business there, or?
Yes. We have a company
What's
like SBIT WLL. We already we are registering I'm attending all the sessions also, the previous sessions we have attended. And
okay.
See,
All right. So yeah, go ahead, sir.
We also have training.
Sharon, please mute.
We also have training sessions here in Bangalore. I mean, surely if you are visiting India, I think we can also arrange a training session with all the products. Otherwise, I think one by one we can have our video call. I think this can be arranged. That's not an issue.
Okay, that will be good. Like we will understand more about the products, and even with the corporate teams also we can discuss.
How we can so in the coming weeks itself, we can. I think Binish can schedule. Online presentations. Are you also visiting India by any chance in the near future?
As of now, I don't have any plan. So we can discuss online, no problem.
Yeah, okay. So we can visit, we discuss online, and when one of our people visit Middle East also, we can meet and
that is also fair enough.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Sure, Ritesh. Thank you. We'll get back to you.
Sure. Thank you so much, and it's a good session. Okay.
Thank you.
I have not attended full one because I was in another meeting, and I just joined in the end. But it was a really good session in the end also, and it was good, nice talking with everyone. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Hitesh. Okay. Moving to the next question is from Mr. Imran Likango. Can we able to integrate the system with any brand of fire security system and CCTV security surveillance? I think it's the same questions which we have answered before.
Yeah, I think surely yes. I mean, of course, the fire security and the CCTV also should be a sort of open system, so that we can integrate. But I think from our part, we have architected as an open system. There is no issue. You can tell the application, we can integrate it.
Okay. Okay, the next questions, maybe this is the last questions, coming from Mr. Samuel. Can I have a demo for the hospital system? I think he's from Kenya.
Yeah. So Samuel, we can arrange a demo of our IPPBX, which can be used in hospitals with certain hospital specific features. I hope one of our salesperson is already in touch with you. So after this webinar, we will connect with you to arrange that demo.
Okay, thank you, Binish. So this is the last questions for today's. If anybody has any further query, you can raise your hand or unmute yourself so that we have another 1 or 2 minutes to end the sessions. So it looks like we don't have any further queries. So okay. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kurian sir. Thank you, all the respective teams for joining this webinar session and making this webinar session a successful one. Thank you for everybody, your participations and your time. And we'll catch you up in our next webinar sessions. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all. Thank you.